So again, this is your 3-4 defense concept, okay? Where you have the 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers that are evenly symmetric on both sides that are force flat defenders, and plus you can take care of 5 in the box to take care of all your gaps. But it comes down to the fact you got to have 3 guys right here that are dogs and get after it. And we do. That's the reason why we can run this defense, and it allows you to run anything you want from behind with your secondary. You can play cover 1, cover 0, cover 2, cover 4, cover 5, cover 6. There's all sorts of things you can do. But out of this defense right here, we hardly ever run it. So I'm going to switch over to what we actually do. So what we'll do is we'll take an outside linebacker and walk him up as the jack. The other outside linebacker becomes your nickel. All right. So now basically this is just a nickel package. All right. And most of you in here have heard this person right here is called the star on our defense, and that's the nickel defensive back. Why it's a nickel? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like a nickel. All right. So you get 5 defenders now in the secondary, and now you've walked an outside linebacker up. Now you say, why do you change this? Because a lot of people say, well, this is not a 3-4 anymore. This is just a 4-3 modified because your sandbacker is widened, which is what you typically do with a 4-3, and he becomes the sandbacker now as the nickel. All right. And you got a true 4-man front. Notice I moved the tackle over to a 2. I moved the nose over to a 2. And now this tackle right here is in a 5 technique, which is outside eye of the tackle. And this is going to be probably like Joseph, Jonah Jonier. You're going to have people like that. You're going to have people like Kristen Miller probably sitting right here at this tackle position. And at your nose, you're going to have Jordan Hall. Okay. This jack is going to be probably somebody like Gabe Harris. And you may say, well, where does Quintavious Johnson fit into this? Well, he doesn't right now. If you're in this defense, he's going to be in other situations that you have. But he played a lot of jack this spring because obviously Gabe has had labrum surgery. And then, of course, we know at the mic we got C.J. Allen, and at the wheel we got Raylan Wilson. Okay. Now, the nickel position is yet to be determined because right now at strong safety, we've got Ja'Cory Thomas that has been playing out there, number 20. And, right now there's a lot of different people that are moving in at the nickel position. I know that Zion Branch, believe it or not, a lot of people are talking about Zachariah Branch, but Zion Branch has been playing a lot of nickel. And, of course, we know that we've got Janelle Aguero there as well that could be playing that nickel position as well. And it's because teams are spreading you out now more, is that you want to have somebody more athletically built like a defensive back, but also can come up and actually take care of the run as well. This guy right here has to be one of your most gifted players on the field. Tyke Smith did it for us, the kid that transferred in from West Virginia that finally, came into his own, got drafted by the Bucks. But this is a guy that can cover a guy man-to-man, all right? He can play zone, play the middle hook curl area or apex defender player. All right. But he also can come up and lay the wood and, knock the piss out of somebody too. So that is the reason why this position is so critical for Coach Smart and why you see him recruiting so many safeties, because theoretically 85 to 90% of the time, we're going to have 5 guys on the field as defensive backs where you're going to have a rotation of at least 3 safeties on the field. All right. So this jack now becomes that defender. And a lot of people got confused last year because Mikael Williams was playing that tackle position right here. And a lot of people are thinking that he's actually at the jack position when realistically he's just been shifted in a stem to the 5 technique as an outside edge guy, which is fine because that's something we want to see him do anyway. All right. And all the different stunts that they do where they delay and lag and then bring this and bring him across the face and the mic through here. I mean, there's so many things they can do with this, but more than likely Gabe Harris and Quintavious Johnson are going to be those 2 dudes at that position. All right. So this is what we refer to as a mint defense. I'm sure most of you in here probably heard the mint concept in a 3-4, but there's also what's called a tight, which changes the alignment of these guys up front so that you're wheeling your mic. Because what you want to do in this is you want to cover the wheel and the mic up with the nose and the tackle. You want to have guys covering your guards so that they don't have free release up to your backers. And this is the reason why Jordan Davis was so important to this defense, is that he could take on 2 and keep your wheel free, just like this guy over here, Devontae White, Jalen Carter, could occupy 2 to keep this guy free to be able to get up and get to the run. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you with that. Now, You've seen us run this a little bit as well. And this is where people get confused and they think we're in some kind of 3-3 stack look. All right. And you say, well, we've gone to a 3-3 stack versus a 3-4. Guys, remember, 3-4 is our base. We are not in a 3-3 stack. All we have done is taken the jack and moved him back. We have slid the front back over. All right, to their normal alignment, head up in a 0, head up in 4s. They could be in 4 eyes, they could be in 5s, whatever they want to be. And they just taken the jack. We saw this last year. Jalen Walker, CJ Allen, Raylan Wilson. It's a 3-3 stack modified. You still got your nickel sitting over this guy. You've got your strong safety that you can roll down and be over the Y. He could still be deep. You could still have the free safety over and let you jack work to him. There's so many different things that you can do with these combos of these two guys right here and still be able to run cover 2, cover 4, cover 1 behind it. I saw us run a lot of cover 1 out of this, but there was also times where they ran a cover 2 man under, where this strong safety was back here, this free safety was over here, and we had our wheel opposite to this because wheel would actually be on the jack side. But we had one of these stack backers would actually take the Y. So you had these guys manned up, this guy manned up, this guy manned up, this guy manned up, strong safety back, free safety over. And you had a 2-man look on this right here with a 3-man rush. All right. So that is the 3-3 stack that a lot of people look at and they think, oh my God, what are we in a 3-3 stack now? We changed defenses? No. All we've done is modified where the positions are. We did a lot of different things with this guys right here. And a lot of times, like I said, the strong safety, we could actually take him and move him back. Excuse me. We could take the strong safety and move him back, free safety over. And then one of these two stack backers had the number 2 receiver. We did it a lot against Clemson at the beginning of the year. All right. Lastly, now this is something that I see more than I see the 3-3 stack look, and this is what we do a lot of when we are trying to bring pressure. Okay, so this is just zone pressure, but you can have pressures that look like they're bringing more than they are when they're really not. And this is what we'll do: is we'll bring in actually 2 jacks. We'll take out the noses. All right. The nose won't be in there. And we put our tackles in 2s. All right. We can play 2-man games from there. Obviously, we can bring games here with the mic and this jack. We can bring games here with the wheel and this jack. All right. Now, this is where Quintavious Johnson comes into play and when Gabe Harris comes into play. Okay. I just call this like a rabbit package, all right, or a fast package. This is where you just bring in 2 very good athletic kids that can come off the edge and bring pressure on 3rd and short, 3rd and long. And what they would end up doing a lot of times is they would leave Chris Cole in there to do this as well. Gabe Harris, Damon Wilson, that group did it last year. All right. But this is just the same thing. You still got 6 in the box. All right. You still can bring any kind of man pressure, cover 1 over the top here. You could drop him out, bring him over, let the mic run out with a Y. You could drop the jack. I mean, there's so many things you can do out of this to create your pressures that you want to, or simulated pressures. Look like you're coming. You bail out, bring the mic, tackle delay across, bring this. I mean, there's the possibilities are unlimited. But what I'm trying to show the common layperson who's trying to see all of this is to understand that we are still a 3-4 defense. All right. All we're doing is adjusting the personnel to what we need based off what the offense is doing, because so many teams are in gun now in some type of 10 or 11 personnel, okay, running pass, and it's still running zone. That's the thing about it, is that even in this situation, say you got the free safety over here, strong safety's back, all right, and you've got something you're doing here with the jack or the mic to take care of your leverage defender on this side, okay, you got your nickel over the top of your number 2 on this side, so you're in pretty good shape. All right. But a lot of times they'll do this kind of stuff, and that's the reason why they'll run it into the boundary. So, like if the center's on this hash, you got less field to cover. So, it's more than likely you're going to see something like that where you have that strong safety sitting up here over the top of the white 10 to 12 yards versus him being up in his face right here. But they can run adjustments with the jack or the play side backer where you got Mike looking to wall off right here. Strong safety's got help over the top. There's all sorts of different reads that you can do with this and still bring the pressure that you want. But ideally, when they run this rabbit package, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get guys to the football in any combination that they can do here to take care of business and get to the quarterback. Okay. So that is looking at just a 3-4 defense and looking at the different packages that you can bring.